Police search for 27-year-old Demaje McKenzie, who was wanted for a shooting that happened early Wednesday. The 38-year-old male victim was shot in the 600 block of Rome Avenue and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. McKenzie, who is known to the victim, is also wanted for homicide in Lake County, Indiana. He now faces several charges, including aggravated battery. Police urge anyone with information to come forward. Those who call the Rome Avenue area home are on high alert after that shooting. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley meets with neighbors who wait for solutions to protect the community.
It's quiet on Rome Avenue, hours after a shooting brought Rockford police to the street.
There was police all around here, and usually, if you see police, it's just they're pulling someone over.
Jennifer Woodman lives doors down from where Demaje McKenzie allegedly fired at another man. Authorities report he's wanted for murder, a statement neighbors struggle to understand.
We have good neighbors. They like to check on each other and help each other out.
A little bit scary, but unfortunately it's happening everywhere now.
Zach Purcell joked with his family about what he calls the Rockford reality the night before.
We're just talking about police knocking on our door in the middle of the night because of something happening, and then if it happened to us just hours later.
Purcell claims the shooting doesn't shake his faith in City Hall or police.
I trust that they're trying to do the best that they can with what they've got.
Others argue they can't accept another bullet flying in the community.
Why should we be expecting that? We should expect that the police are doing their best to combat this.
Rockford is home for the neighbors through thick and thin. I've been here my whole 49 years. Maybe someday, because of the weather, I'd like to go down south, but we'll see.
In Rockford, Nathaniel Langley, WIFR News.
Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to reach out to Rockford Police. Anonymous tips are also accepted.